Hi there, Tarot Tube. So I'm trying to do 5 VR hashtag things in 5 days. And this is my first one, and it's a VR to a video that Ethany just posted on where she's talking about 8 witch decks. So first of all, of course, I have to cheat because I have too many. Narrowing it down to 8 was really hard. But I thought I'd pop in this little one. This one doesn't count. This is a bonus. So this is the Witch's Familiar Runic Oracle by Ethany Noctua. I'm probably saying that wrong, but that's how it sounds to me. And look what a sweet little thing this is. It's just a tuck box, or not a tuck box, it's a, oh God, words. But it comes with this little, cute little guidebook, which is nice. It's got some spreads in it. And all it is runes. I got it to help myself. I was trying to really learn my runes. And this one, because it has these animals with it, kind of helped me a little bit with kind of trying to get some of the energies. And I do like an animal deck. And I just think her art is lovely. And look at these backs. It's great. But that one doesn't count. Sorry, that one doesn't count. That's just a little bonus. And then as long as I'm breaking the rules, the next deck is actually 2 decks. It's the Everyday Witch Oracle and the Everyday Witch Familiars Oracle. So if you've been following me at all, then you know that this year, I'm going to adjust my camera. This year I did a big edit on my decks. I took out anything that smacked of patriarchy or that was just all white people, unless it was specific to a culture, that everything went. So sadly, the Everyday Witch Tarot, which I love, is not in current rotation. But the 2 of them, Deborah Blake and Elizabeth Alba, definitely decided to branch out with these other 2 decks. So it's not just a bunch of nice white ladies. There's a lot of other folks being represented, and so now I love this because it lets me keep that Deborah Blake energy, which I really enjoy. And by the way, you know, she does write fiction, witchy fiction books, which are fantastic. So you should go to her website if you're interested in that. And then this is the one with the familiars, the animals. Look how sweet the foxes. I love the foxes. So this one, they're so beautiful. I just really, really enjoy them. And She with Llewellyn, I know I should say what everything is. I think that's, oi. Yeah, it's Llewellyn, it's gotta be. So, so there you go. That's these 2 decks, they count as 1 for me. Now, my next deck, it holds a good place in my heart. So most of my practice is solitary practice. So I love having this Solitary Witch Oracle deck, Lucy Cavendish, and this is Blue Angel. Yeah, this is a Blue Angel. So I mean, I like this cardstock very much. No shade on Llewellyn, but I kind of just prefer matte. And the artwork is by Lady Victoria. So the text is Lucy Cavendish. I'll be perfectly honest and say I don't really use the text that much. Look at the back. Look at the back. That's gorgeous. Because I just feel like these images, I don't really know anything about Lady Victoria, but these images just say so much to me. Like this one, it just reminds me of when my daughter was young and I would take her outside to look at the moon at the end of the day, as well as reminding me that this was something that my mother and I shared all through our lives together. We would look at the moon. We weren't together. We would both look at the moon and say, I'm here, you're there, we're together still. So yes, the moon features quite prominently in here. And it feels comforting to me. So even though it's a solitary witch tarot, she's not alone. She's an introvert? I don't know. She's definitely got connections, right? And I Like I said, I don't really use Lucy Cavendish's text that much. I'm sure it's lovely, but I find that this deck gives me plenty with just the imagery. All right, get ready for the cute one. All right, this next one is Pamela Chen, illustrated by Mindy Zhang, who was quite young, I think, when she did this. This is the Witchling Academy Tarot. Maybe I should zoom out for this one. This is a little bit bigger. So this comes in this very, very cute thing. This was a Llewellyn. Oh, I had to glue it together and it dried up. So not the best, actually, in terms of how it was constructed, but very cute. I had to sort of, this is me. I put a ribbon in it and stickers, and the glue has come loose, but it's awfully cute. It's awfully cute, and it comes with this little. So if you really want to sort of do the Magical Academy thing, you're off the Harry Potter Hogwarts Wizarding World, thanks to JK being a horrible bigot. Yeah, you can still get into that academic young witch energy with this deck. So very Rider-Waite-Smith, but it's also, I was thinking in game terms, it's a campaign. No, there's a story that actually runs through it. So all of these people that you see depicted, they're all characters in the story. It hangs together very, very well. I think it was well constructed, and it's like it had a flash, and then I don't hear anybody talking about it anymore. But I'm very happy to have this in my collection. Yep. So that's the Witchling Academy Handbook. Here's the backs. Did I edge this? Yeah, this is me. I edged that. I'm making a mess outside of my desk. Okay, what's next? What's next? Okay. The next thing is Phyllis Curott, who is, if you don't know who she is, you should definitely, do a search, see who she is. She's very important to witchcraft, pagan life in the United States. She's an attorney. And this is her deck, which is Wisdom deck. I couldn't put my hands on the guidebook, although I know it's right here someplace or other. So I said, well, let me just pull out her Spells for Living Well book as a compliment. So, but this is the deck. This is the back. And there has been much said about this deck. If you haven't seen it before, you don't know what's going on with it. It's certainly worth looking at other people's videos. I may or may not have done a walkthrough, I'm not sure. But she has changed things with the Order of the Major Arcana, and I think that's important because I think that when we're talking about, let's face it, the Major Arcana is a lot about the hero's journey, the Jungian, Joseph Campbell way of looking at things. In modern decks, it's like that. But that's not always true for a woman's life. The hero's journey is not the same thing, please excuse me, as the heroine's journey. And I struggle so much with gender and that whole yin-yang. Girls are soft and nice and nurturing, and boys are like, they get out and they get things done. And this deck just turns it on its ear and challenges you, and I really love that. And they don't use the king's, queen, the royal language is not in this deck, which I also really appreciate. And, so much memento mori thing happening here. So, for example, our fool is not a fool, it's a pilgrim. The camera's weird. Sorry about that, everybody. So, the fool is a pilgrim. And then the first step is initiation. Right? It's her journey. It's not about somebody else doing something to her or with her. And we have witches in here. So, yeah, this is a very powerful deck. I know some people feel like it's kind of too big, the cards, but I love it. So I can't riffle shuffle it. There are other ways of mixing up cards. So there we go. I mean, look at this Two of Earth. Oh, just gorgeous, just gorgeous. So, all right, that's the Witch's Wisdom. Here's the little bag that came when I first came out. I'm not sure And now it's available as mass market. I'm not at all sure what it comes with currently, because my deck is pretty old. Here's my Witch Sister Tarot with Julia Jeffrey. And I think anything that she illustrates is going to have a very strong witch vibe. And I find this one sometimes to be almost too difficult to work with. But, you know, there's different questions, different feelings require different decks to work with. And I think this one definitely is challenging for me, but really gets at some tricky stuff. And again, this is a Llewellyn deck. It's got, you know, that big box with the big full color guidebook, right? It's this whole thing. Now, I said earlier that I had to, some of my decks were sort of in purgatory or just straight up given away because they weren't meeting my current F the patriarchy, F everybody's white aesthetic. And this one gets to stay because it is specifically about a part of the world where almost everybody is white. All the indigenous people to northern Scotland, they are white. So, okay, it works for me because it's about specific people who are indigenous to a certain area, and fine, works. So that's being factual. Okay, let's put that away. The piles are getting high. And as long as we're into this kind of Celtic way of looking at the world, this little deck, who does this? I don't know. Anyhow, I got it, and then it kind of just sat on the shelf for a while, and then I recently got it out again to use, and I'm loving it. I am just loving it. And all of the Celtic goddesses, witches, and queens who are in here, it's got a nice little write-up on who they are, and then it has a divinatory meaning and a prayer to that person. Oh, that's funny that I opened to this. So I just created a new character in a D&D game, and I named her Artio. Artio. So, yeah, there she is. I should share that with the other players. Okay, so let's look at this. I like this art. It's by Dan Goodfellow, and Danu Forrest is the author, creator. And I like how it's, excuse me, really struggling with the technical issues here. I love these borders, right? I just feel like they ground it. I think that gives it this earthy energy that I really appreciate. And I also love how these faces, they're very expressive. They're really communicating something that I enjoy. It gets me in the feels, this deck. I love the colors, and I think it's, I appreciate the consistency from card to card. Although I've only used single cards, I still really appreciate that it sits together as a whole. It creates a little world that I'm very happy to hang out in. So I'm glad that it's kind of come up to the top of my stuff. It was something I got to use for ancestral work. I'm going to hold this out for my D&D group. Although she's the one who looks like she should be a D&D warrior. Yeah. So there it is. Look how beautiful that is. I feel like that might be referencing some famous artwork, but I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining that. I spend a lot of time in museums. Okay, so that's the Celtic goddesses, witches, and queens. And we have two left. I'm saving the one that I think of when I think witch decks. I'm saving that for last. Is it the best? I don't know. It just is what it is. So here's the Literary Witches Oracle. 70 card deck and guidebook. And this one is actually like 2 things in one. So it's, let me put this to the side. So it's part of it is the witches, right? And the witches, they're all literary witches. It would be interesting to me to know if, you know, if any of these women thought of themselves as witches. And then the other part of it is the witches' materials, which feels to me very sort of Lenormandish. And they were like 2 different cards. So what I did, and a lot of other people did this too, I didn't exactly invent this, is I edged the 2 parts of the deck in different colors and trimmed it up, and there we go. So now when I use it, I keep them shuffled together, but I could separate them out into the materials and the witches, but I tend to just use it all together. And it's really fun, and you know, I don't know everything about all of these women, so whenever I pull a card and I don't know really that much about them, then it inspires me to not just read the book, but also to maybe look into them further or read some of their work. So it's kind of funny, right? The witches have a lot of detail, and these are very, you know, it's just the thing. I guess that's what makes me think of it as sort of like a Lenormand style oracle. But it's not the same things. Not the same. So there it is. There's the Literary Witches Oracle. And now we go on to the one that I always think of when I think, let's do the witch. This is the deck. Let me get this out of the way. So many things. This is the one, Witch. A woman in total control of herself. And here in 2025, boy, oh boy, do we need to be tapping into that, because the government doesn't want us to be in control of ourselves. So look at this chunker. Look at that chunky book. And it's a beauty. So it's got the full color card, and then a little bit that has been written by Angie Sullins and her longtime collaborator, Silas Tobal. Boy, I was about to say that name really well. But does a lot of stuff with her. This is a shiny one. It's all like gilded up. Part of me wishes there were more. There were more cards in this deck because I love it so much. But you get what you get, and don't get upset, as my daughter's kindergarten teacher used to tell her. But look at this. So much energy and a real call to action, right? It's like I pull this out and I'm like, yeah, I get a good, clear message. No confusion here. Like if I didn't get it from the imagery in the card, which basically I do, but if I didn't, I just go to the book and read, and it's like, yes, this is this. This is the thing. Pay attention to this. And I love this. Look at the predator. Oh my goodness. Ugh. 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 Yeah, but we are going to include men in this, right? So, like I said, I'm really trying hard to break out of the little box that I got raised in about who's what and what our community looks like. Just trying to expand and expand. Look at the medicine woman. I mean, look at the way they're using light and shadow. It's gorgeous, just gorgeous. So yeah, when I think witch, this is the first deck that comes to my mind. This is the one that they use on the cover, Dragon Rider, and this is what I wish for anybody who's come in and watched my little witchy decks collection. May you be a dragon rider. And if you enjoyed this, could you please hit the like button? Really helps my channel out and helps you to get the things in your feed that you want to actually see. It's the algorithm. Take care. Enjoy the autumn.